Hey, guys. How is everybody? Well, I hate to say that Dippy is really bad sick. She spent most of the morning at the hospital and, of course, didn't get seen. So now she's going to have to make an appointment at the doctor. She doesn't know what's wrong. I'm hoping we're going to have a few more in here today. How is everybody doing? The link is out there if anybody does decide they want to jump up. Not real sure what we're going to discuss today because Dippy had this all planned out and then she got sick. Well, got sicker. She's been sick for about a week now. If anybody has any suggestions, what they would like to talk about, what they would like to hear about. Hey, Stitching, you want to come up on panel, sweetheart? You can grab the link if you want. Hello. Okay, guys, I'm not real sure what we're going to do here. I know Dippy had wanted to get something started, which that was her brainchild of World's Stupidest Criminals. Let's talk about Dawn and Candace. I have a lot to say on that. Would you like to come up, Angela? You're more than welcome to come up on panel, hon. And that's fine with me. I'd rather talk about something that I specifically know about more than I know about anything else. So, what would you like to discuss about it? Have you been watching Kathy's videos or her live streams that she's been putting out? Now, I'll tell you guys, I have met Kathy. I've spent several hours with her, and she is a very sweet, warm hearted, soft hearted, beautiful lady. I'm serious, she has a heart of gold, and she truly cares about Candace. Hello, Miss Corey. How are you today, sweetheart? Yeah, I seen you in there. I didn't catch the live, but I rewatched it and watched the chat. You watched some of Kathy got mad and left. Why did you get mad? No, I won't come up, but someone needs to ask Don where he put the couch that he had put Summer in and took to the woods and then went back days later and got this. It's Sunday. Okay, what about it? Why'd you get mad? Because it was Sunday. I'm not understanding. Hello, Alpaca Maid. Hello, Miss Stitching.
Hello.
She sure does. Hi, Chatters, Nana. How are you doing, Stitching?
I am doing pretty good. How about yourself there?
Okay, I'm doing okay. Corey says because I feel Candace is an addict using one more kind of person. Okay, that's reasonable. I mean, that's a reasonable thought. That would make me mad too if that's what I thought. Well, I mean, I'm not saying I don't think that. What about you, Stitching?
I don't know anymore. I have mixed feelings about the whole situation, and it just a second.
Okay. Bob G says,
Nicholas
Dawn,
had a,
go ahead.
my kiddo had to come and tell me something, and he was bragging that he made 100 on his test. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Bob G says Don has been asked about the couch from the basement and he acted like he didn't know about that couch. Okay, thanks, Bob G. So are you saying that you understand stitching? This is a back and forth like a
Yes, I do. I
debate.
understand. Like I
Okay.
said, I really don't know how I feel about Dawn and Candace. Uh, guys, I mean, I get the whole thing as Dawn being narcissistic. I kind of get that, but I really don't get that vibe from him anymore. There's several things I don't get from him anymore now that I've talked to him a little bit more than what I have, and I don't know. I'm kind of in the air. I with fine tooth comb go over everything he says to me in my head. And I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for something to click or something to happen. So
You're
that's where I'm at with the whole
you're
case.
waiting on something to click that says he did do something or something to click that says he didn't do it.
I Either way, I mean, I just want answers for Summer. I know I say I stand with the Wells, and I still say that. But with standing with the Wells, I also have to stand with I want answers for that baby. You know,
Exactly. Well, there's a bunch of questions. I don't know. I didn't see you in her chat on neither time she went live, and I thought that was strange. I figured you would go in there. Um,
who's chat?
Kathy, the friend, Kathy, the friend. It
Oh,
was
I caught part of that yesterday, and I really didn't sit through it. I had other things that I wanted to do, and that was not one of them at the moment, unfortunately.
well, she was asked a few questions, and so and if I can remember all of them, I just wanted to get your thoughts on them. Like, uh, if they are so innocent, why have they told so many lies throughout this past 2 years?
But they aren't the only ones who've lied. That's where I go with that. Okay, so they've lied for the past 2 years, but they're not the only ones who've lied in the past 2 years. We
Right, but
had
they are the parents.
this is true. This is true.
So I mean, if anybody's going to tell the truth, it should be the parents, and let everybody else lie if they're going to. Not saying
But
anybody.
here's my question on the whole YouTube them and the whole YouTube thing comes back to. Um, I don't know if Dawn even ever told anyone the truth on YouTube.
Right.
I think he did it on purpose. I think he kept the truth from all of us because he didn't know the truth.
Okay. So basically, and this is the same thing me and Dipey went through last week. So what you're saying is Don Wells is just a liar, and you can't believe anything he says.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
You
That
understand? I'm not attacking you, stitching, right? You do
Yeah, I
understand
know.
that.
I know. That's what I said. I sit here and I go through things and I ask myself these questions every single time I talk to him. And it's one of those. Last night I went on Queen Bee's live and I told him I was like, "Look, Dawn can't find a job around me. Period. That's just why he's had to go clear Arkansas, clear other states just to find a job because of what these people have done to him.
Well,
What us YouTubers have done to him.
and that might be true. And in a sense, I feel bad. But anybody that wants to work and wants to earn money can go to McDonald's or, to the county and apply for a shit shoveling job. If you want to make money, there's jobs that can be found. And if he wouldn't announce to every person that he runs across, I'm the father of Summer Wells, the one who's missing from Rogersville, Tennessee, that would probably go a long ways. Because not this time that we talked, not me and him, but the first time I ever talked to Don Wells, that was one of the first things that ever came out of his mouth. That's how he introduced himself. And it's not, in my opinion, I don't think it's fair that they want to lay all the blame on YouTubers for them not being able to get a job when Why don't they just tell the truth? No matter what that truth is, they have told so many lies. And I'm not attacking them and saying that they did something to Summer. I'm just saying, even if they didn't do anything, they have told so many lies, literally, that they have gotten caught in, that nobody can believe anything they say. I mean, it started out with the
I
hair.
know.
Why was her hair cut? Candace says one thing, and it literally, as soon as the last word comes out of her mouth, Dawn comes up with a completely different story. I mean, like I said, it started there, and it went downhill since then. And then his first thing of, I'll see her in the resurrection. I'm sorry, I don't get how any parent who has only their child has only been missing for three days could make a statement like that. Are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just sitting here, just going over my head stuff, and I'm going. But see, but then again, I can always just go back to, well, if they've been watching YouTubers, they know how the YouTubers act. You know what I mean?
Right. But that's the thing. Are they so cold blooded and so vindictive? Like, I keep getting told that the reason Don done the most horrific thing he could do on live YouTube, that he only done that to be vindictive against the people he was on the panel with. Well, you're telling me that his being vindictive means more to him than to worry about getting a clear, straight story about his child out? I mean, I've got a big hang up about that. The thing of,
Well, let's go back to the very, very beginning, though. I mean, a lot of us hang up on the whole Chris McDonough interviews, and that's where a lot of us got totally thrown off track and everything else. To me, is during those interviews.
right.
Because on top of it, did anyone know that Chris McDonough went to the sisters first in Utah before he came to Tennessee?
Well, how would he have known to go to the sisters in Utah?
I don't know. That's something I have asked myself: is how did he know that he had the sisters in Utah unless he had been talking to somebody on the phone? That you got Allie and her children. You have
Right. But okay.
um,
But what you're saying is, okay, you've got Mary who called TBI and Jeannie who called TBI to let them know what happened in the past when they were children. I do not believe TBI is going to call Allie and them up and tell them, because remember, nobody knew anything about Mary and Jeannie. Not even Mary and Jeannie knew about each other until Summer came up missing. But they're going to call TBI. TBI is going to be calling Allison and whoever, and telling them, oh, hey, Don Wells has got sisters in Utah that have called us up and claimed this, blah, blah, blah. No. So the only way that got out, where Chris McDonough could have gotten hold of it, would be
here's
if
the thing.
Don leaked it.
No, what I'm saying is straightforward. Allie and her family knew Candace and Dawn well enough to know that stuff about him. That
No,
he had the sisters. You're telling me they did not know that Dawn has sisters in Utah. But
yeah,
yet when Dawn went to Utah, they knew why Dawn went to Utah.
they probably knew he had family, sisters, whatever in Utah. What I'm
That's
saying,
what I'm saying.
okay,
Whoever
nobody.
called Chris McDonough told Chris McDonough that he had sisters in Utah. So Chris went to the other external family first instead of coming in and finding out the truth. He already had the hang up on Dawn and Candace the way he did because he had already talked to the family in Utah.
Okay, that might be true, but once again, and trust me, I'm not a huge fan of Chris McDonough at all. But once again, we can't lay blame on everybody else. It don't matter what anybody else did. It only matters how Dawn and Candace handled this. And from the get-go, they have told lie after lie after lie. And I'm just wondering why. You can't, there's literally, in my opinion, that is, there's no excuse for telling lies, especially when it comes to something as important as your child is missing. Now, there's got to be a reason for all the lies from the get go. I mean, they can't both be narcissistic liars. I mean, they can't both suffer from that at the same exact time, being both, both parents. I mean, I guess, technically they could, but odds are against it.
And if Candace was going to sing or say anything, don't you think she had done that when her dog was in prison or locked up?
Um, well, yeah, in a way, yeah. But then also, in a way, you have to remember that when Dawn was locked up, you have to remember that she did tell Ernie Shell that she could not say that it wasn't Dawn that took that baby. She did make that statement. I mean, oh, and to address this, Corey says, "Oh, I said something about how her head had been shaved and was told that I just didn't understand how people from that area are." That's bullshit. People from this area, people from Tennessee, 90% of them, anyways. A girl or a woman's hair is her glory. And no, I mean there has to be extenuating circumstances for somebody to shave their little girl's hair off. If it was head lice, yes, that's but most of the time people around here will do everything and anything they can to keep from shaving their little girl's head. Maybe it was the alcohol. I'm not a drinker, anyone, but when I was drinking, I couldn't remember anything.
Exactly.
But discovering that doesn't explain why he made the statement, "I'll see her in the resurrection," 3 days after she's turned up missing. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that they done away with her. I'm just saying, I think there is a whole lot more to the story than just her just disappearing. And don't get me wrong, the video that I put out the other day about the sinkholes, and oh, let me tell you something, Stitching, that made me so furious. I wanted to get on here and just cuss everybody out. Because they were trying to say, well, what was there a sinkhole in the basement? That's where she was supposed to be at. Okay, we obviously know the parents lie. If Candace
Well,
had
we
took,
obviously know. Okay, that as my 6-year-old friend, her son who's 6 years old, can unlock both top and bottom lock on on the deadbolt in the house and go outside. Okay, so come on, who in their right mind would think a child can't unlock that door? Especially after we hear Dawn say that there was more than once that she was found sitting outside playing whenever they woke up.
right. But what I'm saying is, if Candace really did take a trip, which we know she left the hill twice that day, if she left and left Summer there, if there's a possibility that Summer walked down to the end of the driveway and got snatched by somebody, isn't there's still the same likelihood that maybe she walked up into the woods and sinkholes happen within a matter of seconds. They open up. Sometimes they stay that way. Sometimes they fall back in on their stuff. If it's next to the edge of a tree could fall over and cover the hole up. The hole could be anywhere from 2 foot deep to like the dog that Hawkins County went and just rescued 8 months ago out of a 30-foot deep sinkhole. They had to go in with ropes and rescue this dog. If a dog could fall into a 30-foot deep sinkhole, why couldn't a child?
Yeah, no joke.
I mean, come on. People need
You
to
know, I would
use
like to also have, you're talking about sinkholes, I would also like to have an aerial of the area that the caves are supposedly in. You know, I want to see that from a view that I can actually put in my head and figure out how far that is from the house.
right.
Or houses, you know.
Well, I don't know. I'm just agitated. I've been agitated for the last few days, and I just don't understand. Okay, first, one thing I wanted to ask, and if anybody out there knows, let me know because I was discussing it with Discovering, I think. Okay, if you dig up a hole and the airplane that searched with the infrared or whatever it is, if you dig up a hole, it will show that the ground has been disturbed, right? Well, if the
Yes.
ground falls in on itself, is it still going to show as the ground has been disturbed, or is it just are they do they overlook sinkholes? I mean, how does the infrared thing work?
Like to know myself.
I mean, I think it's interesting. I think that maybe they need to go up there and look and see if they can't locate any sinkholes nearby that house. Maybe not in the front yard, but right around the edge of the woods, anywhere. People take it literal when Candace says she went out on a run. In the South, we say we're running to the store. We run to the post office. We run down the road to friend's house. Right, exactly.
And that's what
We
everyone's hung up on is that run thing. And I don't know. I like that one just said, we say on a run, I'm running to the store. I'm running to, you know, grab something to eat, stuff like that. So whenever she said, or when they said she was on a run, I didn't think automatically jog run,
right, right. Well, no, like I said in a video a long time ago, or not a long time ago, but people around here are usually, you only run for the joy of running if you are wealthy. For the rest of us that have to work hard for our money, by the time we get in at the end of the damn day, we have enough to do with cleaning the house and doing the dishes and taking care of the kids and doing yard work. You might get an hour or so of TV relaxation time, and then you have to go to bed and get up and do it all over again. People around here don't normally go run just for the thrill of it. I mean, sorry, but it's true. There is a body of water near there, and I do believe has been searched completely.
But there's a lot of water around there. I don't know if you're aware of that either. After some of the stuff I've looked up, there's a lot of water areas around.
Right here in Tennessee, it's most of the time that's what it's called too. If you're going after something illegal, you're going on a run. Yeah. Hello, everybody coming in. I don't think it would show on infrared, but I believe it would show up on the LiDAR because even though the ground's fallen in, the grass would flip in the area. Well, if it's up in the woods, there wouldn't be any grass, though, Discovering. There would only be dead limbs and leaves and branches and twigs and possibly pine cones and whatever. And in my opinion, if it was next to a tree and the ground opened up, the baby was swallowed, and the tree toppled over top of that hole, are they really going to move the tree to search in a hole that they don't even know is actually there? No, they're not. So what else you got there, Stitching? It's supposed to be debate. I have the same problem with Dippy. She don't want to argue either or debate. It's not it's debating.
Well, no, but I see where you're coming from. The whole sinkhole thing is, there's a lot of things that you say that I go, well, yeah, that could have happened. But
That
here's the
happens
other
with
thing.
Dippy too.
Every once in a while, you go, okay, I go back in my head some of the things that were said, like just a couple of minutes. Well, Candace has also said she does not keep track of time. I don't.
No, but
I don't have a normal routine.
That's true. You don't. But if your son went missing, would you not know exactly what damn time it was? Oh, you
There are
can't.
times I can honestly tell you no, considering he goes and he gets very, very quiet because he's either doing schoolwork or he's being a nerd doing something on YouTube or something like that. So honestly,
Stitch it. I've been on the phone with you. Bullshit. You keep track of that kid constantly.
well,
I don't
according to
want to.
when they call the cops on me, no, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You
you
keep track
know,
of your kid. Not to mention, he's
yeah,
normally always right there next to you somewhere.
yeah. You say that
So
now,
you're telling me if you're sitting there all damn day, you know that you've watched this or that on TV, you know you've went to this store and that store, and you know approximately how long it takes to do all that. You're telling me you wouldn't have a clue if it was 1 o'clock in the day or 4 o'clock in the day when your child come up missing? You would. Now, wouldn't you?
yeah, because I don't leave him alone. That's just it. I stay on top of my child.
What
If I lived in the country, I probably wouldn't be as on top of my child. I'd be like, hey, he's got someplace.
hence,
That's just it.
hence her saying, I was only gone 2 minutes,
Yeah.
being obviously, I mean, and I'm not criticizing her for it because we all do it here in the South. It's just 2 minutes, it's 10 minutes, it don't matter. That could mean 5 minutes to 30 minutes. I'll be back in a couple minutes. A couple minutes. I'll do it in a couple minutes. But the plain and simple fact is, she said, after your child goes missing, if it really wasn't a couple of minutes and it was more like 30 minutes, then you should tell the truth that it was more than likely about 30 minutes instead of a couple minutes. That's the things that grate on my nerves. You understand? Because if
Yeah,
this is so important, you should rack your brain to be as precise as
as
possible.
possible.
Even if you still get it wrong in the end, at least you're trying to get it as close to a pinpoint time as you can.
Oh, yeah, I get you. But, you know, like I said, there are times that I lose track of him because, he gets so quiet that I don't know if he went to the bathroom or if he went outside, outside to do something. And like right now, I think he's on his computer.
Okay. But like I said, Candace said she was only gone 2 minutes. So you're telling me that your child just walked in there, said something to you about his paper, and you could have already lost him?
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
This time I actually am being truthful with you. It's not I don't know if he told me he was taking a break or if he was going to the bathroom or what, but he walked away after he got through telling me he was done with his homework or made another 100 on his homework. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he disappeared. But that's just it. He's 8 and he has the mind frame of I can do. Go to the bathroom. Do I need you for anything? No, we were looking for you. Because I thought I had lost you.
Who? Oh.
Oh, just a second. Let me take off the headset.
Okay. Discovering. You said, okay, it says I would have no idea what time it was because I never look at the time unless I'm cooking something and it's got to be timed. But that's bullcrap because you have a set routine every day, honey. You get up, you wake your son up, you get him ready for school, you put him on the bus, an hour, possibly hour and 15 minutes later, you have to get him back off the bus. You know approximately what time it is during the day. You would definitely know if it was before or after lunch. You would know if it was before or after dinner. That kind of thing is what I'm talking about. So them saying that they don't keep track of time, that's people with common sense, period, can look outside and see what darn time of day it is. I'm home 24 hours a day. My bunny is my last child. I know her every move. 8 isn't old enough to leave for a second. Also, if my son disappeared, my last thought would be to look at the time. Exactly. Your last thought Exactly. That would be the exact thing you would do. If you couldn't find your child, you'd look to see what time it was. I would automatically start searching. Can't waste time searching.
Exactly. Can't waste time. Can't take the time to look, see what time it is because you're looking for your kid.
No, the last thing she would be worried about it. No, that would be the first thing I would, because I would want to know how long they've been gone.
See, I'm like her. That'd be the last thing I would look at. I would automatically go into panic mode if I couldn't find him.
How
If I
was
honestly couldn't find him, I knew he was still in the house because I didn't hear the door open or shut because he slams the door. So therefore, I knew he was somewhere in the house. But I was like, okay, just now, he disappeared. He walked away.
right?
But see, we also have the roommates I'm staying with right now. And they open and shut the door all the time. They're in and out. So I don't know. To me, it could be easily done. But mine wouldn't be on purpose. It would be a misplacement. You know what I mean? Okay, I misplaced him. Where did I put him? Text him. What did he tell me he was going to go do?
Lorraine says, I just wonder if Kathy is telling the truth. I know she has a good heart because you can tell that, but I don't want her to tell things just to take up for Candace. She is not just telling things just to take up for Candace. Everything that's coming out of her mouth has been said before her YouTube channel was ever even thought of. Trust me. Like I said, I spent many hours with her. We went over tons and tons of stuff. And I'm telling y'all, what she is telling about her time with Candace while Dawn was in jail, she is telling the truth. I mean, you can take my word for it or not. I mean, that's up to y'all. You can not believe me then. But I'm just saying, Kathy is a very honest to goodness person. And like she said, like yesterday, that doesn't account for before Summer went missing or what has happened before Summer went missing. She only knows what she knows from the time she met Candace forward.
Was that before or after Summer?
That's after Summer went missing.
Okay.
Rose Myers got Kathy and Candace hooked up. But if y'all were remember, and I'm not trying to twist words or say Kathy said something that she didn't say, because she literally didn't say what she was speaking of. But if y'all will remember in her live stream last night, she made a statement about behavior. Something about the behavior. She didn't say if she's talking about Dawn or Candace, but I can almost guarantee she's talking about Dawn. I can't quote it for certain exactly what she said, but if y'all will go back and watch it, she says something about Dawn's behavior. She don't think he had anything to do with the baby disappearing, but the behavior. And I know what I thought she meant by that. I'm not saying that's what she meant. I'm just saying that I know what I think she meant by it.
Well, here's my thing here. Think about this, though. The behavior. But the behavior panel said that Candace had a guilty knowledge. And it was said on Dr.
Dawn
Phil.
was completely innocent. Bullshit. See,
I don't think either one of them.
Dawn is guilty of something. Let me tell you something. It don't matter. If he's guilty of diddling that child, it don't matter if he did anything else to her. He deserves the same punishment for that as he would if he did away with her. So to me, it's one and the same. To me, it don't matter if he did away with her. If he diddled her, he needs the same damn punishment.
I'll say I don't think he did either one. I'm kind of like some others. You guys are putting that word on that child, and it's horrible.
It's not putting that word on that child, because that child, if it happened to her, is a victim. So that would be putting that word on Dawn Wells. You don't say that a victim you don't say they're an SA victim. You say the person is an SA, or you say he's a OR or OF, however the hell you'd say it. You know what I'm trying to say.
Well, it's like I always said SO for significant other until after I was on Daisy's the other day,
Yes, that's what I was
and
trying to
someone
say
said
is
SO
SO.
for,
Yeah,
yeah, someone
SO.
else used the word SO for the other one. And I was like, oh, okay, I need to quit using the SO word.
Well,
You
well,
know?
the plain and simple fact is the child would be a victim. The predator, the person who offended is the one that gets the name that is so bad we can't even say it on YouTube. So tell me, what word are we putting on Summer? We're not. She is a victim, just like Jeannie was a victim, just like Mary was a victim. And I don't know why everybody keeps questioning the fact of Mary. Mary has proof. She has paperwork that she went to the sheriff's department and filed charges against Don Wells. She has proof. It really happened. If it had not been for her 17-year-old brother, those three boys would have finished what they started. Don tries to come in and say, oh, he's the one that saved Mary. No, the original story was that Mary's 17-year-old brother, her blood brother, actually came in and caught Don and his two buddies with Mary locked in the bedroom, attacking her. He's the one that put a stop to it. He's the one that drove Mary to the sheriff's department to take out the charges. And it was Don's dad who went off the deep end when they got home and said if she didn't get down there and drop the charges, then he was kicking her, her mom, and all of her brothers and sisters out of his house. People forget that. I don't know why I remember Jeannie and Mary's story so well, but I do. Don's saying every minute that he's a victim. He's a victim of a 5-year-old. Come on, the last time it happened with Jeannie, Jeannie was still younger than Don was when he started it. He was 12 when he started messing with her. She was 11 when he was 19 the last time he tried to. Which was
But look
enough.
at what Jeannie did anyway. Behind, after all that, Jeannie also. You want to go
Does
with
it?
someone
Hold
else
up,
say that
hold up,
she
hold
did
up,
too?
hold up, hold up. You're telling me that just because later in life where'd you go? Later in life, I'll continue to say it, later in life, because she made mistakes, that what happened to her when she was a 5-year-old should be dismissed. That's not right. Don't get mad like I did. It's the only time I ever got mad about the case. Cried, yes, many times. Well, Stitch, and I don't know if you're mad and dropped off or if something happened, but you're welcome to come back up here. Anybody else is welcome to come back up here if you want to. Guys, I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm just trying to argue logical points. I mean, and the plain and simple fact is, it don't matter what Jeannie did later in life. It don't matter if she did whatever. We're talking about when she was 5 to 11 years old. And no matter what she did later in her life, does not make up for the fact, and it doesn't change the fact that she was messed with as a child. And maybe whatever it was they claiming that she done, she wouldn't have done had she have not been messed with when she was little. Right? Am I crazy? Holy moly, that's ugly. What's ugly? Discovering Mass suggests you watch both back to back, but only when it's quiet. There's subtle but important information. You're talking about Kathy's videos? Yeah. I posted both of them on my community tab, guys, if y'all need to find them. Think about all the comments and statements that he has made about his child being missing, that they have been remarks that he has made. He can't even call her by name. He is a liar and it's disgusting. I didn't mean to make you mad, Stitching, if that's what happened. Don done this all to his. He got on YouTube and asked YouTubers to help him. Done a bit of it to himself. He's the one to ask YouTubers to help. Lenny wants to get up there and use foul words. Lenny? Well, Lenny's more than welcome to come up here, but Lenny can't use foul words, not repetitively, anyways. If you get mad and say one, that's fine, but dang phone. I understood what you were saying, Alpaca Maid. Guys, I think I've made it perfectly clear that I'm not saying that they done away with their child. I don't know what may have happened to her. My argument is their behavior, their wording, their lies, you name it. Because 90% of the time, if you could solve all that, you'd probably figure out what happened to her. Hello, Jeannie. How are you? Guys, it's open panel. Anybody that wants to come up is welcome to. You just have to show your face before you come up. And I'll debate anybody. Come on. Give me somebody to debate, guys. This is supposed to be polar ends now. I do not have any sympathy for them at all. Well, I don't know, guys. Like I said, it very well could possibly be the fact that she fell into a sinkhole. I mean, I don't know if people thought I was pulling all that stuff out of thin air. I mean, I had it right there on the screen in front of them when they were watching the video. But this kind of stuff actually does happen. Kids do fall. There was a comment on that video. As a matter of fact, a lady was telling me about her best friend back in the 80s. They were out horsing around hiking and come up. They knew, they were aware of the sinkhole and they were goofing around next to the sinkhole. And dude started jumping and he literally fell in. And he fell so far they couldn't find his body. It took them 3 days to recover his remains. So it's not that far fetched. The only problem is did law enforcement, fire and rescue, whoever it was that was out there hunting, were they looking for sinkholes that child could have fell in? And my point being was, if she could have walked down the driveway and gotten snatched by somebody while Candace was gone, could she not have walked out in the yard and wandered around and fell into a sinkhole? I'm not saying a damn sinkhole opened up in the damn basement. I'm not stupid. You're not late, Mother Goose. Thank you for coming, sweetheart. But everybody involved in Summer's case has had the same weird behavior and lies. It makes no sense. I agree. Right down to the sheriff. I mean, one minute he's saying that they're working with the whales and the whales are working with them and everything's honey cake and pie and blah, 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 blah. And then the next damn minute he's hollering, well, they're lawyering up and they're not working with us and they're being uncooperative. And on one hand, he's saying that abduction's off the table but foul play's off the table. And well, if everything's off the table, but everything is still on the table and everybody's a person of interest, what the hell happened? Somebody needs to tell somebody. The truth needs to surface and stop dragging this on. Yeah, I agree. I mean, they got on YouTube and made a mockery of the whole thing. Yes, they have lied, in my opinion, and they know exactly what happened this summer. And I believe if they follow church, that's my opinion. I seen a strange disappearance show about a little boy disappeared almost right next to his parents on a beach, and turned out it was a sinkhole in the sand just swallowed him. Exactly. It does happen. Their behavior and lies are disgusting. I mean, all I'm saying is if they want to say they're innocent and they had nothing to do with it, then why did they come out here and just lie like they have? And it kills me that Don tries to pretend like he's a victim against a 5-year-old little girl. And if you'll do it once, you'll do it again. A leopard never changes their spots. Just like being an alcoholic or being a drug addict. You don't get cured. You are in recovery for the rest of your life. And it's how you choose to live your life, whether or not you go back to it. They did show the madness. Come on, somebody, jump up here on panel. I promise I won't debate you. We'll just have a discussion. Hey, while we're sitting here wondering what to talk about, guys, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I have a book here it was wrote by a local person. They live in Morristown, and her name is Shirley Morgan, and it's called The Fake Rose and Sunny. And like within the first page and a quarter, the man, her father, which is technically really Shirley Morgan's father, in real life, within the first page, he offs 2 people. And he has, I think, like 22 kids altogether, and there's a bunch of them that he gets rid of. And the strange thing about it is he only ever spent 2 years in prison over any of it. And that was over just one of the little boys. Anyways, I thought about reading it on Nana's Place. And that way it wouldn't interrupt my videos over here. And if you all are interested in audiobooks, you could come and listen to it. My opinion, they are victims, whether it's a victim of their own circumstances or not. So Dawn's a victim? Is that what you're saying, Discovering? They chose to be victims. The babies, the kids, scavenger hunt. Yeah, the scavenger hunt, guys. I've already put the first item out there. The next item will be coming in the next couple of days. It'll be before Wednesday, I can guarantee you that. And you have to watch the videos because I will be putting them in randomly throughout the videos and randomly through the week. As I said before, don't forget, guys, you don't have to do both items per week. Just one or the other. You can do both if you choose to, but do one or the other for that week. And then make sure and email it to me by the 13th, which is the following Monday. When is Dawn and Candace Wells Amber going to take the blame? Oh, ever, I think is what it meant. Take the blame for what they have done. Well, honey, first we have to prove they done it. The kids are victims. The parents create their circumstances. Exactly. If Dawn and Candace had been robbed at gunpoint or a knife pulled on them and something done to them, or or somebody came in and held a gun to their head and took their kids, then they might be considered victims. I'm mind blown how Don knew so much if he was working. Yeah, me too. I'm mind blown that not everybody was raised by my mother. Ain't no way in shit in hell a man would have got up and talked to the cops or the news people or anybody for that matter. If it'd been my child missing, ain't no man gonna stand in my place and talk for me. Hell no. Candace should have got out there in the first place and done her own damn talking. It was her kids. When is Dawn and Candace Wells ever stand up and take the blame for what they've done? They neglected every one of their children. I don't have no one of their children. Okay, we know. Yeah. He was at work, but he is the one that goes on camera, not Candace. She was with Summer. That makes no sense to me. There's no way. There's no way. Of course, then again, I wouldn't ever be with somebody like Don Wells, anyways. My personality is too strong. And people like that prey on the weak. And Daisy and them and whoever else is out there may not realize what kind of manipulator he is, but he is. He's a horrible person. He's a horrible person. Guys, I'll be right back. Sorry, guys, there was somebody at my front door. I had to go deal with it. It was my landlord. He's such a sweet little heart. He is a controlling manipulator. Not my landlord, Don Wells. I heard Candace blaming herself, saying something to the effect of, what if I would have went in with her? What if I would have walked out with her? Whether she literally said it was my fault, she did. Exactly. And all those things that she said throughout this past 2 years. If I'd only walked out there with her, remember that when she was, and to me, I could just picture somebody pulling up in a car and Summer running out there or Dawn walking out there with the baby and him loading the kid up and just letting her go. And so, and Candace saying, if I had only walked out there with her, it wouldn't have happened or whatever was said. Or if I'd only been around, nobody would have hurt her if I'd only been there. Why did he make the statement that somebody could be mistreating her or hitting her in the head with a hammer? That ain't things you say about your child that's missing. No, it's not. Candace always does better without Dawn. She said that she didn't love Donnie anymore and getting a divorce, but Don manipulated her again. Yes, he did. I don't know, guys. I guess I made stitching mad. Candace always, okay, yeah. In my opinion, I believe Summer was playing outside and Damien seen her and lured her away. I believe she's on their side of the hill. I pray that Summer and her brothers. And discovering, I know that's what you believe, honey. And there are so many people who have their one person. There's somebody I know that says that Grandis is behind it all. There's another person that says Hunter's behind everything. Another one that says Ernie Shell's behind everything. There's another one that says Dawn has done everything. And then somebody else, no, it's Candace did everything. I wish y'all could all work together and figure out which one it's supposed to be. Until we find out the truth, guys, it very well could be. I'm not saying it's likely, but I'm saying it could be that neither one of them did anything to make her disappear. I'll always stick by the fact that I believe he was diddling that baby. I'm sorry, you do not put 4 children in the shower with a grown, unclothed man, and especially one of them being a little girl. Men around here don't do that anyways with their boys, but especially their little girl. That's just the right height. No. And to do all of them at the same time. So I'm curious, did anyone see the video where Candace watched Kathy's first vid live on another channel? No, I tried to catch it, but I didn't. That's what I was wanting to watch. And that's when I came out. I was watching that when the word sycophants came out, guys. I wanted to see what upset Candace so bad that she would drop down off panel. Because I don't think Kathy said anything wrong. Do you guys? All Kathy's doing is sticking up for Candace. And I know Kathy keeps saying that she's got the videos and she's got the pictures and that she's going to show them and stuff. And I will attest to the fact I know she's got the pictures and stuff, guys. I don't know about videos, but I know she's got pictures. She showed me some of them. I've looked at everybody and was convinced for the longest that it was parents. And then I got stuck on Hunter, but I passed all them, but not Damien. I'm stuck with him. Me too, Jenny. I think they are abusive home with a bunch of drunk adults screaming and yelling. Oh, honey, I never said that. I didn't think that. I agree. More than likely, it's true. 100%. I just don't get why law enforcement hasn't done anything. Anything. How many cases now we have? Let's see. Well, for one, Alex Murdaugh. That happened, 8 days before Summer went missing. That was a double unaliving trial, guys. They not only caught the man who they originally thought was innocent, they found the evidence, they arrested him, he's been booked, put in jail, let out of jail, went to court, did a trial for however dang long it was, and found guilty with 2 natural life sentences in the amount of time that law enforcement is still saying. We're stuck on day 1 with Summer Wells' case. We have Harmony Montgomery was reported after Summer was reported. Almost 6 months after Summer was reported missing. They haven't found her, but they did find out that what happened to her. They have arrested, and dude has went to trial and he has been sentenced. The Serenity McKinney was reported after Summer. Same thing. They caught the perpetrators. They found the baby. They have been prosecuted. They are awaiting trial now. What is it about Summer's case that they can't get past day one? Quentin Simon, they named the mother as the primary suspect. Why can't they do that? And a very good question I was asked last night, or somebody was. No, Kathy was asked this question. Kathy was asked, if Dawn and Candace are innocent, why don't Ronnie Lawson take them off the suspect list? Why haven't they been cleared yet? I don't really know their lives before Summer went missing, and I'm sure they drank, but I don't know how much. And after Summer went missing, I know they drank a lot. But if my kid was missing, I would too. Would you, or would you be spending every waking moment trying to find your kid? Discovering, I know you keep making that statement, honey, but I talk to you a lot, and I think we're pretty good friends. And I don't think that you would be sitting back wallowing in alcoholic stupor. I do believe you'd be out there walking the streets trying to find your child and fighting with Congress to get the whole nation to do it. You can't tell me you wouldn't. Have you ever heard of a planned kidnapping? I have heard of it, and do you think it's possible? Because Don did a big. I don't know if that was true, that when he said that or not, like everybody keeps saying in his defense, he was just telling people what they wanted to hear to make the story look good. He may have been telling a story, and it may have all been a lie. Could it have been planned? Now, I still lean towards the fact that he placed her somewhere else. I think he sent her away with somebody. Even better, believe if my child went missing, I'd know. And I had 3 boys that stayed in the yard, a 4-wheelers and everything, but I knew where they were. I would be searching, of course, but the pain and the fear of not knowing would probably have me drinking to drown the pain and worry of what's happening. Yeah, but before that depression set in, I believe you'd be out there fighting. I'd stay sober and be on every TV station known to man. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I have personal experience, not in a kidnapping as far as not knowing who took my kid, but my baby, my youngest son, was taken by his father one night. And honey, I did everything. I even called the White House. I called the hanging judge. That's what they called him. His name was Judge Porter. He was the hanging judge. I called him at home in the middle of the night. And needless to say, I called the sheriff's department in the next county over where he lived, which I'll put it this way. My mom had a very good name. And when my mom sent out the word that when we finally got him arrested, he was picked up and arrested, but he turned over custody to his mom and dad of my son. My mom told the bondsman in all these counties, do not bond him out until my grandchild is returned. And that is what got my child back, because no bondsman would bond my ex-husband out until his parents returned my son to me. And they did that the very next day about 2:00. They pulled up in my yard in a cruiser and got out of the back of the cruiser and handed my son back over to me. And that was the only way they could bond their child out of jail. So yeah, I'll pull every string I can. I will shout from the rooftops when it comes to my kids. Thank you, Dorsey. Dorsey. Thank you, Versey. Sorry about that, sweetheart. I just got the 2 names mixed up. That's so sweet. Thank you, babe. I tried to talk my brother-in-law into giving me a bell. He's got a little bell that hangs on his rearview mirror, and I tried to get him to give it to me so I could use it when people give me donations like that, and I could ring it. Like every time a bell rings, an angel gets their wings. Summer's not even my kid, but the worry I have for her has me chain smoking, researching, trying to figure out what happened to her. Oh, I know that's true. I can't never call. If I do call Discovering Up and talk to her, and I just bring up one thing, she's on it. She is right there trying to find it, no matter what it is. She's always researching. Nana, when I got, I said, but my father at Shriners Hospital when I was in a body cast, the nurse walked in and caught him, but it was, I remember you telling me about that. Wasn't you supposed to come up and talk about that one day, hon? I believe you had a different screen name at the time when you were telling me about it. And it's horrible, and I hate to hear that happen. Yes, Mercy, thank you so much, sweetheart. Come on, guys, we got a few more minutes to kill here. Won't somebody jump up here on panel? I feel like I'm talking to myself again, guys. Is it our happy place? Is that what that profile picture is? Hello, Zero. How are you today, sweetheart? What's the name of that guy who bought next door to Dawn? I always that his following missing kids was odd. Oh, I don't know. Oh, Jackie Dobbs. I know you're here, hon. If I'm not doing something for my son or cleaning something, I'm researching something. It's very time consuming, but I don't have much of a life. LOL. I don't think any of us do have much of a life. Hence why we're always in here on YouTube. Oh, jeez. My back's starting to get to me, guys. Jackie Dobbs has a channel. Yeah. I tried to watch it a couple of times, but he subscribed to Missing Kids channel before moving here. Kind of odd for an older man. The name of it's Elvis and I. Hello, Selena. How are you? We're all good, hon, I guess. Probably need to go check it out and see what Jackie Dobbs is having to say nowadays. The last that I knew of anything about him was when Don B did that interview with him on the phone. Even Don has said Jackie had nothing to do with this case. Discovering the truth, who do you think is involved? Abductor? So discovering, they want to know what you think, hun. Trust me, guys, I know, but I don't think there's anybody that does more research than her. Oh, yeah, that's right, Damien. Okay, I don't want to start anything. About what? Oh, about Jackie Dobbs. I will share everything one evening with you, and now I go to school and talk to kids to let them know about abuse and give them resources if they need it. That is awesome, Jenny. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you for clearing that up. I was just curious because they have been so much said and so much that has been done that has been a lie and not been true. I was just curious. Echo is Damien. That's Jody Sue's son, the one that went off to the military. Discovering one day you're going to have to jump up here on panel. Plain and simple, lady. And Jenny, you know I've told you before, anytime you want to come up here, hon, tell your story or tell what you do, you're more than welcome to anytime. But I really do think it's awesome that you go around and try to help kids and make them aware of circumstances and what they can and can't do to get out of the situation, that kind of stuff. So, Jeannie, who do you think it is? Do you have a main suspect? I'm discovering I am still completely baffled. There are so many awful possibilities. Amen to that. There's only one source for suspicion on Dobbs. She has been proven a manipulator. Huh. I thought of him as main suspect before Jody Sue said he would finally be safe in the military. Who is safe in the military when people are shooting at you? And what exactly is he safe from? Well, I mean, he's safe from people going at him, accusing him, or him having to listen to it, should I say. Not saying that you're wrong, Discovering. I'm just saying, that's probably what she's thinking. I mean, look what's happened to Hunter. She's probably just thinking if he's around or not around, then people won't accuse him of anything. Oh crap! Come on. Guys, it looks like I'm going to have to cut this short because evidently my computer is dying. So I've got it plugged up, but it's not working for some reason. Hang on one second. Let me go check the connection. I'll be right back. Nope, everything's plugged up. I don't know what's causing the problem. So before I die, guys, I'm going to have to jump off here. Thank you guys for showing up. Sorry we have to cut it short. But till I figure out what's going on with my computer, that's just the way it is. Love you all. Thank you for the conversation. And once again, Stitching, I didn't mean to make you mad or upset you. Guys, I'll see you next time, okay? Be watching for the next item on the scavenger hunt, guys. Have a great day.